Hello, thank you for joining me for this second day of our Holy Week reflections, using the narratives written in The Risen Dust by Rachel Mann. Today our Bible reading comes again from the Gospel of John, and it's chapter 11 verses 28 to 37 and chapter 12 verses 1 to 8. When she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary, and told her privately, "The teacher is here and is calling for you." When Mary heard it, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come to the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. The Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary get up quickly and go out. They followed her because they thought that she was going to the tomb to weep there. When Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she knelt at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her also weeping, he was greatly disturbed in spirit and deeply moved. He said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." Jesus began to weep. So the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" "6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, the home of Lazarus, whom he raised from the dead. There they gave him a dinner for him. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those at the table with him. Mary took a pound of costly perfume made of pure nard, anointed Jesus' feet and wiped them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, the one who was about to betray him, said, 'Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor?' He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. He kept the common purse and used to steal what was put into it." Jesus said, "Leave her alone. She bought it so that she might keep it for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." And this is the narrative from the perspective of Mary of Bethany, the sister of Martha. "When I heard he was near, I refused to leave the house. I sat in our kitchen, staring at the dead hearth, my eyes stinging with tears, my stomach sick. I left it up to Martha to do the right thing. Martha, the strong one, the grown-up one. Bet she loved that. But I was too upset, too far gone, because it was different for me and Lazarus, because of who he was to us and who we thought we were to him. He was like our older brother, or our guide, our friend. He was our rabbi. We loved him. And he said he loved us and would be there for us, and we believed him. I know he's a busy man, but I thought we were something more to him than a place to say fine things and to lay his head. Lazarus was dead, and he couldn't even be bothered to come to the burial. I wouldn't go to him. I told myself, let him come to me. It was Martha who made me go. Or maybe it was just the look on her face, so unlike the one she usually wore. Instead of the disapproval, there was something else, something close to hope. I was not ready to give in though. I was so angry. I wanted to shout and scream and curse. I had all the words laid out in my head, all the words I'd ever need to punish him. But when I saw him, I crumbled. I fell on my knees, and all I could whisper was, if you had been there, you wouldn't have died. I cried then. Or maybe I was crying already, or just sobbing because I had nothing left. I was as dry as a handful of dust. Sometimes you need a shock to see the world straight. Seeing him then was my shock. It was as if the tears had washed mud from my eyes, and I saw a different man. Not the man I loved, or a peasant king, or a rabbi, but a condemned man. The walking dead. As if he were as dead as Lazarus, and yet still upright. I saw the pallor beneath his skin. I saw how lost he looked. As if he was a man who'd been lost at sea for years and ended up in an alien port. I saw his tears. You know the rest. How he went to the cave and showed us something else. How he terrified us. How he gave us a glimpse of the final day. How everyone tried to explain it away, saying that Laz had just been asleep after all, but I knew different. And Martha did too. We saw a new kingdom that day. But I can't escape that other man I saw, the dead man walking an alien shore, the streets of a dark city. He called to me from out of the dark. Maybe that's why I took the ointment, the most valuable thing we had, and anointed him, touched his feet and wiped him with my hair, not caring if it caused a scandal. I blocked out the disgusted remarks, all the words they used to describe me, whore and waster. I thought only of him, not in the way you might think, but because I understood at last where he was heading. Because I saw that there was nothing, no power in heaven or earth, no love, not mine or anyone's, that could stop him. I could not protect him. All any of us could do was get him ready for what was to come.